Let's have a look at the rest of the news this morning with Charlotte.
Stephen, thank you. Good morning. The number of people taking out short-term loans between paydays has quadrupled over the last 4 years. More than 1 million people have taken out the so-called payday loans, which often come with extremely high interest repayments. Kitty Logan has this report. Oh, looking pretty spectacular. Now, it's the film franchise which promised to go to infinity and beyond, and now Buzz Lightyear and his friends are on their way to doing just that. Toy Story 3's become the highest-grossing animated film of all time. The movie overtook Shrek 2 to take the top spot, and it's also become Disney's 4th highest earner ever. So there you go. Seen it yet?
No, I haven't. No. It is meant to be great in 3D.
It does look like it might be worth it.
Yeah, my nephew loved it.
Bear wearing those glasses.
Oh, they're brilliant. Are you not a fan?
No.
Oh, I love anything 3D. It's great. There you go. Maybe it's just me, Charlotte. We'll see you later on. Now, let's have a look at the newspaper. So, 2 years till the start of the 2012 Olympics, just under, but a few hours till the start of the Premier League.
Indeed it is, yes. Lunchtime kickoff, the opening day.
Charlie, thank you. Some emails coming in this morning. What are people saying, Charlotte?
Yeah, I've got one for you on police bonuses. There was that story that we mentioned in the press review, basically saying that police are getting bonuses for doing their job, essentially. Ryan in Livingston's not happy. He says, how can the government justify £150 million in police bonuses, yet freeze recruitment for new officers over uncertainty in funding? He reckons everyone would agree that more officers on the street rather than unnecessary bonuses. Let us know if you do agree.
Charlotte, thank you. Let's find out what the weather has in store for us today. Bring us some good news, Joe, please.
I'd love to. Sunday's not looking too bad at all. The rest of it, I'm afraid, is looking really rather unsettled. Yes, we've got an area of low pressure with us at the moment, but as I say, most of us should see some sunshine tomorrow.
Let's have a look at the rest of the news this morning with Charlotte.
Stephen, thank you. The number of people taking out short-term loans between paydays has quadrupled over the last 4 years. More than 1 million people have taken out the so-called payday loans, which often come with extremely high interest repayments. Kitty Logan has more.
Do you fancy a bit of that?
Oh, well, I don't know if it's the kind of thing that you don't know if you can watch it because you're thinking, oh, is he going to make it? But of course they do.
That'd be fantastic. Charlotte, thank you. And let's have a look at the newspapers. Is here. Good to see you this morning.
Hi.
Why are people taking out these loans?
It's desperation, really, because as we know, the banks have stopped lending to quite a few people, particularly if your credit rating is very poor. And really, it's the only place that a lot of people can see. There is also the convenience factor. I mean, a lot of these places are on high streets. You know, you can see it there straight in front of you, or indeed on the internet. They're promoted very hard.
I mean, there are concerns, as we know, about the interest rates involved. Presumably, though, interest rates do need to be higher for short-term loans.
Well, yes, it's short-term loan element and the fact that they don't take very much in the way of guarantees. So they are taking a risk, and this is why you're charged such a high amount. It's the risk factor for the companies. But still, it is, as you say, just an incredible amount that people are charged for this short time. Really, honestly, they'd be better off going to pawnbrokers, because although pawnbrokers will charge a lot, on the whole, you're looking at about 85%, maybe between 80 and 100%, which is considerably better. I mean, it's still terrible, but it's still considerably better than, 2,000%.
What are people saying on the emails, Charlotte, about this?
Yeah, people have been getting in touch, actually, and most people saying, yeah, of course, they're a bad idea. Andrew Carrington says he's not had one, but money's so tight for us working classes, he says, they seem an easier route because the banks hate us. That's what Frank says as well. He says, sadly, in this day and age, people have to live on credit. The government needs to help people, not the banks. Nicola in Birmingham says she uses payday loans. She finds them excellent. She says the customer service people are much better than banks. She says, yeah, you do pay more back, but what bank is going to lend to people with CCJs and bad credit? So I guess it's a case of people finding themselves that that's their only option, or that's how they feel.
Yeah, I think that's how they feel. What I'd like to see is more people going for credit unions. Credit unions are marvellous things. They're rather like what building societies originally started off as. They're local people lending and borrowing from local people, and they're largely not for profit. Now, the only disadvantage for borrowers is that you have to actually lend first. In other words, you have to save first with them for a little while. But then you can get small loans, small short-term loans at really sensible rates. And in fact, the rates go down as you pay off. So I'd like to see a lot more people going to credit unions. I'd like to see a lot more credit unions in this country if possible.
And do you think it's the case, because we don't have the situation where you've got your friendly bank manager that you've got a relationship with anymore, that's changed it as well?
Yes, definitely. I think so. I think it's changed it across the board, because people aren't seen as people anymore. You're a cost centre, let's be honest, or no, you're a profit centre, really. And they have a look at the numbers. What sort of numbers, what points can they see in your credit report, what numbers are coming in, numbers going out. So yes, I think that's very much part of it.
We've got to be careful in all of this, so haven't we? I mean, clearly from what people are saying on the emails, and we know that money is tight for a lot of people, but shouldn't the underlying message in all of this be, you've really got to try to live within your means?
Oh yes, I think there are two types of people here, really. There are people who really are desperate and they can't see any other way. But then there are a lot of people, and we have a big problem in this country with this, a lot of people who are simply spending more than they earn and spending on things that they don't need. And we have got into this culture over the last 15 years, of spending before we even earn it, using credit cards, buying things that aren't important, and not budgeting, not thinking ahead, not planning, and we really do need some help on that.
Quick word on regulation on the, I mean, lots of people have said that these companies should be banned. Not going to happen as far as we know. What about further regulation?
Well, the problem is, because this is something that's been looked at for quite a number of years, and the problem is, as you said, that if these sort of loans are banned, the next one down, it really is the horrible, mean, nasty loan sharks, the illegal loan sharks. And these are the ones, that will come and break your legs, frankly. And they're doorstep lenders. They will actually harm. So this is what generally the authorities have said, that if they don't allow these, if they don't allow the other legal doorstep lenders who also charge offensive amounts, if they don't allow that, then people are really forced to these dangerous sharks, basically.
OK, Jasmine, good to get your views on that this morning. Thanks very much indeed. Let's take you through the top. Very good morning. You're watching Sky News Sunrise. Stephen Dixon with you live through until 10 o'clock this morning. And still to come, we'll take you through the papers with Michael Booker. Good to see you. Before that, though, let's have a whip through. Looking at the rest of the news this morning, here's Charlotte.
Thanks, Stephen. The number of people taking out short-term loans to solve their cash flow problems between paydays has quadrupled over the last 4 years. It's estimated 1.2...
It's incredible looking at that, though. You can hardly believe it's animation.
No.
It's come on so much.
Because you always see toys coming to life, don't you?
Well, no, but it just looks so real. Oh, stop it.
It's not real.
It's not real. No, it's just me being a geek. It's the technology side of it. It just looks phenomenal. OK, I'll be quiet now. John Rustenberger, who was in it, was on the show a few months ago.
Oh, from Cheers.
From Cheers.
Yes, I saw it, yes.
Cliff from Cheers. Fantastic. Was that sat right there?
And now this Burke instead.
Yeah, afraid so. Now it's Michael Booker. What can we say? What's in the papers this morning? Nick Clegg in charge.
Run for your
fortnight.
lives, people. There's still time to get out of the country. He's back tomorrow and he's in charge. We're told he's in charge. Yesterday, now this is in The Independent, the Daily Mirror have a slightly different tack on it, where they say yesterday on the Downing Street website it announced that at 2 o'clock yesterday it said he was going to take over from David Cameron. By 4 o'clock, all mentions of him taking over had been taken off the website. So there seems to be a little bit of difference between the two sides as to who is actually still in charge, because David Cameron, they're promoting British tourism by going down to Cornwall. He's still in charge, technically, they reckon. But no, Clegg's here, and who knows what we'll have to do next week. We'll all be forced into vegetarianism.
I'm a vegetarian.
Well, we'll all join your weird cult. We'll all be forced to take soft drugs and release everyone from the prisons. Who knows what nightmarish vision could happen in the next 2 weeks.
Oh, I'm sure the Lib Dems wouldn't agree with any of that.
Or we could just get 2 very dry speeches that he's planning instead. On Wednesday, he's using his 100th day in office to talk about social mobility. And then later on in the week, he's going up to the northeast to bang on about economic growth in the region.